these three and I got together to talk to you about how to prospect for sale by owners or FSBO homes to generate more business. And right now, guys, as they're getting settled, for sale by owner season is about to be upon us, right? It's really easy to sell a house right now. Why? There aren't many of them. And unless you look at all of our listings, there aren't many at all. Right? So if there's not many listings, shouldn't it be easy for me to sell my home by myself? A lot of people think so. So they're going to start listing more and more for sale by owner homes over the next 3 years. I don't need a realtor. I'm the only listing in my whole neighborhood for sale. I don't need a realtor. Now, I disagree with them, but unless we talk to them or know how to approach them, they are going to try that. Why? Scarcity. They think that by not paying a commission, they will net a higher amount of seller proceeds. I firmly disagree. I firmly disagree. Saving money is a lot different than making more money. Right? Everybody get that? Most people that actually invest more money are the ones that typically have the most money. It's abundance thinking rather than scarcity. Okay? In everything we do. In everything we do. So with that being said, Austin and Simon and Apple and I got together yesterday and we talked about...
Do you want this or can you block it out?
Let's block it out for now. I guess you're right. It looks across their eyes. Yeah, they can't see. I like them dazed. Yeah. We talked about different ways to generate business, and just as a quick update, because I had to pull this out of him yesterday, but Apple has been in business for a while. However, she's just really spent the last 2 years dedicating a part of her business generation method to systematically going after FSBOs. Year to date, Apple has taken 21 listings, and last year, out of her total production, 6 of those were FSBO listings. Is that correct that closed? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's awesome. Then we'll move over to Simon. So just to let you know, Simon is in fuego. He took 13 listings last month alone and 22 listings year to date as well too, which is pretty awesome. And then Austin, I just want to start with this. Austin's 19 years old. And no, he doesn't moisturize that well. He's just 19. And he's had his license for 1.5 years. Year to date, he's taken 3 FSBO listings, and he's got a really impressive contact to listing contract ratio of 12 to 1. Every 12 that he gets in contact with, every 12 of them, one of them actually turns into a signed listing agreement. Pretty awesome. So that's something that'd be a well I'm going to. So I'm going to start out with, where do you find the information to get in contact with these people?
Zillow.
Every one of them goes to Zillow. Is there any other places that you might go? Curiously, just thinking about it.
Craigslist.
Craigslist
as well.
Craigslist, okay. Do you guys pay any money to go on Zillow?
No, it's free.
So anybody out here could actually get the contact information of open houses by going on Zillow or maybe Craigslist?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to throw one on here that I just thought of right now. Another thing that you guys can do too, that it's also to get your strongest advocates, like your friends, your family, your spouse, people you know that really want you to succeed in business. Tell them that when they see for sale by owner signs, to take a photo of it with their phone, and hopefully the address too, and text it to you. Just tell them to do that. So that way you get FSBO leads left and right when people see the signs. Get your advocates looking for you, right?
Great idea.
Yeah. So get those people working, the people that really care about your business, your closest group, and hopefully you have a lot of them. Get them all looking for you. So you guys just go on Zillow pretty systematically, or can be systematically, and pull and look at where owners of homes have listed their own homes for sale by owner.
Yeah. Scroll all the way down and find their cell phone number usually right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are good numbers too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want you to be able to
They
contact
have to
them.
be able to contact you, yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, excellent. So let's talk a little bit about when you do call these numbers, what do you guys say? Okay? And when we do this, I thought about a way to do this. I think we mentioned it yesterday too. I want you to actually role play with each other right now. Okay? So let's start with Austin. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Austin is going to role play with Apple. So Austin is going to be the agent, and Apple, you are going to be the FSBO seller. So go ahead and call her.
Ready? Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this the owner with a home for sale?
Yes, it is. Is this another realtor calling?
Yes, it is. This is actually awesome. Real estate professional, and I saw your home on Zillow, and that you're selling it yourself, right?
I am.
Perfect. You know, I saw that you just had it on for about 3 days now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is.
How's everything working out for you?
Really good, actually. We've had quite a bit of people calling, and probably the whole county of realtors calling me, so you're probably like the 100th one calling today.
That's awesome. Have you had any showings or offers at all?
No offers yet. It's only been 3 days, so we are going to be holding an open house, and we told some of the buyers that had called and asked some questions to come to our open house this weekend.
Perfect. So you're holding it this weekend?
Yep.
Okay, awesome, Apple. Well, I'm curious, is commission the only reason why you decided not to hire a real estate agent?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I don't see anything too difficult on selling my own house.
Okay, so are you offering commission to the buy side, or are you doing that?
Well, I mean, if somebody brings me a buyer, I'll probably consider it, but no, I'm not going to offer right off the bat, no.
Okay, that makes sense. Apple, if there was a financial benefit to actually get your home sold and actually pay a realtor even after my commission is paid and actually net you more money in your pocket, would that be something you're interested in?
Well, I mean, you sound like just like the other realtor that called me a couple hours ago. I mean, if the financial benefit is saving the commission for me.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but if there was a way, I mean, yeah, I definitely want to hear about that. But at this point, it's only been 3 days, so I want to try this on my own.
I completely understand, Apple. And when are you having your open house?
This weekend,
Okay, and what time is it?
from 11 to 2 on Saturday.
From 11 to 2. Apple, well, do you mind if I swing by maybe around 10 o'clock right before the open house and kind of show you how my team gets home sold?
Well, I'll be preparing for the open house, so you can come by a little bit earlier if you want, but a whole hour.
Okay, you want to do it, say 10:30?
Sure, that's fine.
Perfect, Apple. I'll see you at 10:30, and then we can go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Freaking 19 years old. That's gnarly. Yeah. That's impressive, yeah. Did you guys notice how he did not use a single statement that ended with a period? He kept asking questions, stayed in curiosity the entire time, which is excellent. Great script too. Great script too. Okay, let's keep moving through it. Simon and Austin. So Simon, you're the agent.
I follow that. Dang.
I know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, what's funny is Simon started within months. He started when he was 18 years and 3 months?
Yeah, 3 or 4 months, yeah.
Simon started when he was 18 years and what?
I started working that month, but I got licensed like 4 months afterwards.
Yeah, see how there's competition between when they started? Yeah, so it's kind of cool here. So there's pretty awesome. Okay, Simon, so you are the agent. Austin, you are the FSBO seller. Go.
Hi, I'm looking for Austin.
Yes.
Hi, Austin. My name is Simon, and I'm with the Right Guy Real Estate Group. I just wanted to give you a quick call. I see that your home is available for sale.
Yeah.
And we actually sold one around the corner of yours and had multiple offers over on Paradise. So I will do this time. I will frequently pick one of our recent listings that had multiple offers nearby it and use that as leverage. So we just sold one of your neighbor's houses with multiple offers, and there were some spillover buyers that are looking for homes, and I found yours on Zillow. Are you still selling it?
Yeah, and what address was that?
That one was at 2824 Paradise. It's just about 2 streets over from you. And anyways, I think your home might be a fit for one of these spillover buyers. Would you be interested in getting together to see how we generated multiple offers and sold that home so fast?
Well, we are offering a buyer commission. If you do have buyers, I mean, you can definitely show our property.
Oh, awesome. So you are offering to pay the buyer side?
Yes.
And what are you offering that?
We're offering $3,000.
$3,000, okay. And how did you choose that number?
It is, $3,000 just kind of seemed like a good fit.
Seemed like a good fit. Seemed like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm just curious, Austin, why did you decide to list it yourself rather than sell it with a professional?
I mean, we've done this before. I mean, obviously we're looking to save commission, but we think we can handle it.
Okay. And other than commission, is there any reason why you're not interviewing agents today?
Yeah, we're just looking to do it ourselves. Like I said, we've done it before, and we're looking to save commission.
Terrific. So you're looking to net the most amount of money possible.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we like that.
Perfect. And so would you agree that when it comes to selling your house and financially, that netting is more important, ultimately, what you net than what you sell it for, right?
Yeah.
And if you knew that you could net more by having a professional like myself handle the promotion and sale of the property, would that be worth 15 minutes of your time to see how we can do that?
Yeah, I mean, that could be. Let me talk to my wife about it, and I'll give you a call back.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'd love to schedule a time when it works for both you and your wife to get together. Generally, when are you both home? Is it usually in the evenings or earlier in the day?
Usually evening times.
Usually time. Oh, wow. Okay. So, well, this week I've got Thursday evening open around 6:30. Is that a time that would work for both of you usually?
Yeah.
Great. Why don't I go ahead and reserve that? and you can talk to your wife. I'll call you back on Wednesday to make sure that works for you, and I look forward to seeing you Thursday at 6:30.
Okay.
Great. See how he said a soft appointment? It's a subtle commitment. Learn that in just about anything you do, too, because they usually hold true. Great questions. Notice how Apple and Austin are fighting like hell? Like, I mean, no one's getting an easy ride. I don't think, good job for both of you guys on fighting, because you won't get fights like that too often. Yeah, so.
Script is hello. Like,
Yeah.
like, you just need to talk to more of them.
Yeah.
Right, that's really true. You start to learn.
It's not as scary as it seems.
My goodness, amazing job. And that does take, I mean, there's a skill level here that's developed. You don't think there were some uncomfortable phone calls from these guys? He's 19! You know what I'm saying? There's some uncomfortable phone calls that you have to go through to get that good at staying in curiosity. Just completely staying, you know the questions to ask, you see how they're both thinking? I mean, that's engaging. They are thinking, they are totally engaged. Okay, so the last one, we're gonna have Apple is going to be the agent, and Simon is going to be the FSBO seller.
Okay. So for me, I always have a script in front of me when I am prospecting. I don't know about you guys, but there's a million things that go up that are in here. And so it keeps me guided and it keeps me controlled of the conversation. So that's the way it's different. Okay, so ring.
Hello.
Yes, hi, my name's Apple and I'm calling about the property on 123 Main Street. Am I speaking with the owner?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
It's Simon.
Simon, awesome. Well, Simon, thank you so much for taking my call this morning.
Is this a sales call?
You know what, Simon, I'm actually calling about your property. Yeah, I am a professional realtor here in the local area, and I'd like to know all the other inventory on the homes that are not currently listed in a multiple listing service. So can you tell me a little bit about your home as far as something that's not in the description that you already have on the bill?
Well, we're currently not working with agents, so we're looking to sell it, on our own.
Okay, great. No, I definitely understand that. Now, let me ask you, Simon, what is it about your home that makes it stand out from the rest of the neighborhood?
Oh gosh, you know what? We have the best fruit trees.
Oh my God, yeah. What kind of
Every
fruit?
variety of everything.
That's awesome.
And not only that, we've got a fountain that is really beautiful and koi, fish.
Wow, a koi pond, some fish. Okay, great.
We definitely think our homes sell well above
Awesome.
They just sold way too low. I think they had a problem with it.
Okay, got it. Well, Simon, it sounds like a lovely home, and I'd love the opportunity to even show it to any of my potential clients that may match up to that property. Let me ask you this, maybe I can help you out in a different way. Once you guys get this home successfully sold, where are you moving to next?
We're gonna move to the northwest side of town. We really want to be in Shannon Ranch.
Oh, awesome.
We've got our daughter's friends go there, and we'd love to be able to have her go to Shannon Ranch in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely a great school district. How soon are you guys wanting to do that?
As soon as it sells, really.
Okay.
We'd love to be there definitely by July or August.
Awesome. Well, Simon, considering that the market is definitely going to a red hot market right now, what are some of the methods you're using to make sure that your home is getting the exposure it needs to stay on top of all the other properties that are currently listed in your area?
We made a really neat looking sign.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
we used the computer to make the flyer.
Okay.
We got one from the so I mean that's the we got the number.
Sounds like you're doing everything that an average agent is doing to get a property sold these days. Awesome.
That's what we figured.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like you have it listed at $450,000. How'd you happen to determine that sales price?
Oh, just looking around, like I said, we think our home should sell quite a bit higher than our neighbors, and they sold, in the 300, so we thought 450 was
Really, really big koi fish.
I mean, it sounds like you definitely have some room for negotiation in that price. Are you willing to adjust your price down when working with the buyer?
Oh, within reason, we're not going to give it away.
Okay, great. No, and I wouldn't want you to give it away either. It sounds like a great home. Now, just out of curiosity, Simon, why did you decide to sell yourself rather than list with the real estate agent like myself?
And wanted to save the commission.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, absolutely. And if you were to list, do you happen to have any agents in mind that you'd like to work with?
No, not really. We see someone leave flyers on our door all the time, but we're probably not going to use them.
Okay, yeah.
We told them to stop, and they keep coming back.
Yeah, that's annoying, I'm sure. Okay, great. Well, Simon, I would love the opportunity to apply for the job of selling your home. And I simply just want to share with you my marketing plan as to how I can get you the exposure you need to get your property sold in today's market. I'm available this afternoon at 4, or would 5:30 work better for you?
Well, Apple, I would love to see your marketing, but I'll tell you right now, we don't want to pay a commission.
Absolutely. And hey, we can definitely discuss that when I come out there. I just want to simply share with you the techniques that I use to help sellers like yourself get their home sold in today's market, okay?
Okay, I just don't want you to expect to list the home when you come home.
Yeah, no problem, no obligations, no expectations. So would 4 or 5:30 this afternoon work better for you?
5:30 would be better.
5:30, great. Okay, I'll look forward to seeing you then.
Oh, great job.
Could you tell when the crosshairs went up? Yeah. That's awesome. It's almost like you saw her ears pin back, right? I mean, that's literally right then. You could tell when that moment happened. I mean, that was tough because you got funny. Made flyers on the computer. We use the computer to make flyers. We're thinking about the internet next week. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. We're going to invest in the internet. So awesome job. Seriously, awesome job. That was amazing. Apple, the way you stayed in that too. That was pretty ridiculous. Well done, Simon. Creative. But you see how no matter how hard the expectations are or how unwilling they are, because I didn't ask them all to fight that hard with each other, but they did, and they kept staying in it the whole time. And really what she's doing is just closing the appointment. See how every objection he threw out, she stayed and just fended it off. No problem, commission. I'm not going to fight you on commission right now. I'm just going to get the appointment. We do that in person. Does that make sense? That's the difference between closing the appointment and closing the listing or the contract. She fends off arguments about the contract just to isolate on the appointment. Everything will get a lot easier in person. Everything will get a lot easier. So she fends those off, and the minute she saw that appointment open up, ears go back, pin down, closing hard on the appointment, which is no obligation, no expectations, whatever, let's get it. And she was flying into that, right? That's what you do to close an appointment. So that was amazing. And learn that in everything you do when we're trying to move from contact to appointment. It is very uncomfortable. And for those of you that have never perfected these skills, boy, does that feel uncomfortable to you right now. Right? That feels uncomfortable.
The biggest thing I think you said there is that not trying to close the sale on it on the phone. And the first call is just the introduction really. You're getting to know them. The key is really following up with them over and over and over again, so that when they become exhausted of trying to sell it themselves, and all of a sudden they realize July is unrealistic to get there, they're in a hurry. You're the person they talk to about. Really, right? Would you agree that being what was it you said the 8?
So for me, I've come to realize that a forced sale by owner, no matter what, they're going to try it on their own. They have a certain time frame in their head that they want to do this on their own because they really feel like they believe it, that they can do it. So it takes about 7 to 8 contacts systematically within their time frame on contacting them before they'll even meet with you or even sign a contract with anybody. So if you are that agent that has contacted them, let's say that in 30 days they're going to tell you, okay, I'm ready to list in 30 days, or at least interview agents for it. Put something together 7 or 8 times that you're going to contact them with something of value within that 30 days, and then you may be that person your 7th or 8th time talking with them that they list with. So you do have to have the intention or the mentality that they do want to try this on their own, and you're just there to try and catch them when they do fall and they're ready.
So 7 to 8 times we nurture, and that's what you hear it called a nurture, where we're staying. Is that about weekly? Is that kind of a weekly nurture?
Yeah, just depending on their time frame.
Okay, so give me something that depends on the time frame. Give me an example of when that might change.
So let's say that they say they're not going to talk to anybody until the end of the month. Okay, and I just talked to them and it's Wednesday, and they just said that they're going to have an open house. So for me, Fridays, I'm going to check in with them. Hey, I remember that you told me that you're having an open house. Is there anything that I can provide you as far as a handout or anything that you want to give out to some of the potential people that come in? And that could be simply having that great relationship with the lender. They can whip something up real quick as far as estimates of how much that house would cost on payment. So I'd follow up with them on Friday, so that's my second contact. Follow up with them, and then even go stop by during the open house. That's your third contact. Then follow up on them. On Mondays is the best time to contact for sale by owners because they literally just had an open house, and if it's anything like ours, there was 1 to 2 people that showed up, right? So follow up with them on Monday. They're frustrated. Nobody showed up to the open house. Then again, provide them something of value. Hey, maybe you can try this. I do this with my marketing plan. You can try it next time you guys hold an open house. You know.
So because he said he's got a tighter time frame that he wants to try it on his own, you take those 7 to 8 contracts and kind of compress them like an accordion, and you're meeting them more frequently than a weekly basis.
Yep.
Do you ever get like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing nice? What do you mean there? I need something from you.
Well, typically when a buyer actually sees a home, they have multiple questions to ask, like how much would my monthly payments be on a $250,000 house? I mean, unless you're a professional lender or an agent that actually knows what they're doing, would you know that number on top of your head? You know, I can get my lender that'll whip that up and have a nice little flyer for you. We'll take your pictures off of Zillow, so that way you can hand that out. You know, I'll even put my contact information there for you, so they can call me with any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help them out that way.
I've found that on the follow-up, the first call, we've got a really great script, right? It's prepared, it's eloquent, it's got all the questions we need to ask. On the second one, we're bringing them an item of value like the open house or something like that, or making sure they receive something we sent them. And then in the subsequent weeks of following up, our scripts get weaker and weaker and weaker. And so then those third, fourth, fifth follow-up calls and after that get harder to make. And so I've recently adopted somebody else's script that is for follow-up on those calls, just to call and say, hi, this is Simon. I'm just wanting to call to see if you happen to have any real estate related needs this week that I can help you with. Which, by the way, you're going to most often leave this on voicemail. And so, in that, I'm just saying, if that happens to be the case, if you have anything this week that you need, feel free to give me a call at this number. But really, it's just, hi, I just want to follow up and help. I just want to follow up to see if you had any new real estate needs that I can talk about.
Just checking in, just them hearing from you, just checking in. So I think it's just a bunch of like the drunk monkeys, like, oh my God, what am I going to say this time? Oh my God, what am I going to say that time? Just you following up. Number one, you stopping by, introducing yourself. You're doing a lot more than the average agent out there who actually knows there's for sale by owners and won't do anything with it. And then number two, you're going above and beyond by just checking up on them to see how things are going, and if there is anything that we can do to help. Because you are the professional real estate agent that knows the market a lot better than they do. So just having that confidence within yourself that there is something you can provide them of value.
Yesterday when we were talking about this too, and I do want to pull this out, make sure that we say this. First of all, do you have to be just someone who calls FSBOs all day long to do this?
This is just one source of business.
Yeah, couldn't you be doing this in your farms? I mean, should you let a FSBO exist in your farm? Shouldn't we be trying to stay in contact with FSBOs in your geographic farm, in your database? How about in your referral database, in your SOI? Do you want them to exist in your SOI? They're in your SOI, but they think they can do it better than you can, right? So a way that we do that, and we talked about it yesterday, is when as Simon says, his scripts get weaker, and I think what he means by that, he's not pushing as much, right? You're trying to come from contribution more, right? So what are some things that we talked about yesterday that we do to come from contribution where we start trying to help them to build rapport? Because 7 to 8 contacts, that's a lot. We're starting to get to know these people a little bit, right? Right? So what are some things we can do to help them to come from contribution to nurture this relationship if they are in my farm, if they are just someone that we want to list their home, if they're in my database? How do we nurture them and come from contribution to continuously add value?
You can definitely help them with their open house, right? You can be in the open house with them, screening buyers, trying to get the home sold actually for them, and keep them in your best interest.
Listen to that. What else?
Oh, for me, it's pulling stuff out of your own marketing plan. Like, for example, you can suggest to them, hey, go on Vistaprint for like maybe $25. You can send out 150 postcards to all of your neighbors so they know that your house is for sale. Just anything, pull something out of your marketing plan that you do for your sellers and offer that every time you talk to them. Because 90% of the time they're not doing that. They don't really know what to do.
One that I just thought of in doing that is that we might try is doing advertising and boosting their open house, their boost their listing and say, hey, here's a buyer's attention, here's an off-market opportunity for sale in your area, and force that in and do some online advertising with it.
Yeah, how about if I email your listing to everyone in my database? It's free, cheap, easy, copy them on it.
And constantly follow up, right? Because they'll forget about you in a second. I mean, they're not going to remember you. They have other people calling them as well.
Yeah, what about if you're holding an open house the same weekend, you try to coordinate it with them so that you're open at the same time, and you can direct buyers their way too. Hey, how about we hold a joint one and we can piggyback off each other's traffic? I'll try to send all my people, because we've marketed this quite heavily. Here's what I did to market my open house. X, Y, Z, A, B, C. I did all those things, so I should generate more traffic. I'll keep sending people your way. I'll give you a ring every time I know one's coming your way. Touch, 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 help, 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 contribution, contribution, contribution. You're actually helping people. Does this make sense? We close to set appointments, but we always come from contribution, right? They want a negotiator, gang. They don't want someone who's reserved and shy and is a people pleaser, remember? They want to see both sides of you. Show them that you have all the skills to successfully advocate on their behalf when you represent them. Does that make sense? So it's very important we can show them that. Other thing, anybody have any other things?
Austin brought up one thing on the call they didn't bring up now, is that in when they offer to pay the buyer side commission, to point out that, well, that's interesting, so you're willing to pay a professional to negotiate against you, but you're not willing to pay the one that negotiates for you.
And that's huge, guys. You have to get that point across because they don't realize that.
Yeah, you're willing to.
They actually realize
that's
that.
pretty cool.
They'll make that meeting with you.
I've actually never heard that before. That's really good. You're willing to pay someone to negotiate against you, as opposed to, yeah. And that's something we typically are going to try to do in person, as opposed to over the phone, right? Right? But sometimes it needs to come out if you can't get the appointment whatsoever. Another thing that they brought up yesterday too that I think is crucial is the auto prospecting feature for sellers. A lot of people use the auto prospector feature in MLS for buyers, which is neato. But honestly, if we're trying to get listings, why don't we set up our sellers on that? Why aren't we setting up FSBO sellers on that? So that they actually will get automatic drip update emails from me from all the sales activity in their immediate neighborhood. So they can keep an idea as to what the value of their home is doing, because they're seeing new competition come on the market at new home prices. We price houses off of comparable sales, right? They can see how these new houses are coming up for sale. They can see what they're going under contract for. They can see what they're selling for. They can see their price changing. They can see their competition, right? Is that a value to them? Heck yeah. Is it cost you a penny to do that? No. Will you have a reason to automatically send them emails? You don't even have to do it with your name attached to them, reminding that you're the one agent doing this for them. Should all of your sellers be up on these? All of your active listings right now? Yes. Is it a way to stay in contact and communication with all of your active listings? Yes. So should you be doing that with every single one of your listings? Yes. Right? What's the biggest complaint against realtors every single year since before I can remember?
They don't stay in touch.
They don't stay in touch, they don't communicate. Guess what? You're not here either. You're just having the MLS auto prospecting feature do it for you. But at least they get to see what's happening. They will know. So your seller's not telling you when the house around the corner sold. You're telling them. Does this make sense? Those are free features provided by your Association of Realtors. Don't get mad when you pay your dues. They give you things, right? Okay? So does that, right? So that is a value, but we have to utilize the tools to do it, to provide that higher level of customer service. Even just printing them out as CMA. Even just printing them out as CMA. You know, to give them a CMA, to give them an updated CMA a month later when things change. Point out what changed. Here you go. Right? You're starting to establish, build rapport, show that you know more than them, show that you have more expertise than them. If you circle prospect and you call around the neighborhood, couldn't you offer to talk about their listing as well too? Couldn't you show them the report of all the calls that you made around the neighborhood? Show them that you have all the numbers of everyone in the neighborhood, right? All of those things that they brought up yesterday too. So I love all this stuff. You can give them all the numbers, yeah.
Here's your neighbor's numbers. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, yeah. Isn't that something we all have in this office? Do we have access to that? Poor Savannah's like freaking out. She's like, oh, there comes a lot of orders for numbers. Right, right, so we do. By being in this office, you have all the cell phone numbers and email addresses of every geographic area in the county, right? Cell phone numbers and email addresses. She's freaking out right now. Right? You have those, right? So we can provide a higher level of customer service for our listings, which is why we have more listings. because we can actually market to the neighbors, because we ultimately find the purchaser of a home is a friend, family member, or acquaintance of someone that already lives in the neighborhood. Right? And that script rolls off the tongue. I like it. I like it. Okay, so overcoming commission objections. How are we on time? I think we are close. I think we covered that. Let's talk about best time of the day to call. When should they be calling FSBOs?
So Austin, when's the best time for you to,
Well, yesterday I said 5 to 8, but Apple made a good point.
so why do you think that is?
Because I actually called during that time. Right?
5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
So the best time for me is between 8 and 12. Why? Because that's the time I make my calls. So
Consistently.
consistently. It's the best time to call anybody is when you're going to do it consistently.
That is such a crucial concept to understand. It's when you are most likely to do it consistently. So when you tell me that when I tell you that I think the best time for people to make their calls, if you're not 19 years old and you wake up at 3 o'clock because adolescence is still kicking in, I'm totally joking. But the point is, the reason I say that to people is because that's the time you're least likely to be interrupted in real estate. It's the least likely when people are going to want to show properties. It's the least likely time when people are going to inspect properties. It's the least likely time that the escrow officers are going to call you, that the lenders are going to call you, that other agents are going to call you. Real estate doesn't usually wake up till about 10:30, 11 o'clock. By that time, when you start getting interrupted, she's almost done with her calls. Simon too, right? After 5 o'clock's pretty safe too. With the exception of maybe some showings and some listing consultations, that's when the phone calls die down, right? See how they pick the time based on when they're most likely to do it systematically. Make sense? So that is the best time to make calls. Do not make it when you think they're going to answer. Do not get that thinking in your head. That is not the correct thinking. This makes sense? It's not when you think they're going to answer. Okay? That makes sense? Give these guys a huge round of applause. Seriously.